Welcome back. Remember, I don't even have a copy myself. Sadly enough, this is just an advanced copy. I refuse to pay for something I wrote. Coles, what's good? How's my audio? Mic check, mic check. This is just pure vodka. I felt like I should get in the zone, you know? So I dressed up appropriately in 2 items I have worn and owned since college. I have, anyone who went to school with me can attest. Thank you, Drac. Anyone who went to school with me can attest that I've owned this button down since college. Okay? I have worn it since college. It is frayed in places. I haven't worn it. I haven't put on a button down in 2020. No lie. So I came out as Frat Ross, and this is for real. This is both of these things I owned in college and wore in college routinely, often as a combination. It's a bit eerie seeing myself. I can only see me over here on the side screen where y'all's chats are, but it's a bit eerie seeing myself looking like this, because I've lost weight too, so I look more like I did in college. Probably better, not to brag, but just saying. So it's a little eerie. And here's the deal. I can't play badass Journey lead-up music this week because fucking YouTube, they mute my shit, and then they can't monetize it or whatever. I don't know. It made me uncomfortable. I'm not trying to get a Journey DMC, DCM take fucking down. So here's what I want you to do. You're in your home right now. You're wherever the fuck. Pick your favorite dumbass 80s song. Actually, you know what? I'll pick one for everybody. Since I can't play one, what did I No, you know what we're playing tonight? You know what? I don't give a fuck. This has to be done. This has to be done. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have to play a song to set the tone for tonight, so the front half of this is going to get muted on YouTube, and that's unfortunate. But it has to be done. Tonight's chapter, you know what? This might not even be the one for tonight. It should be for another chapter, but we're going to do it anyway. We'll give some more people a little bit of opportunity to show up. Okay. Yeah, I should have saved this for the hazement. I'm wearing sweatpants. Get off my ass. You get one half of the outfit, not the other. And this isn't vodka, it's Sprite. They used to just put us in the dark and play this. Alright, that's enough of that shit. And if you're this late, listen, pledge time is 15 minutes early. Alright? If you weren't here at 8:45, you were late. So if you're not here at 9:07, you missed out on the beginning. This is chapter 2 of my 2013 New York Times bestselling novel, Total Frat Move, by myself and the creators of TotalFratMove.com. We read the first chapter last week. It's available for you to watch on YouTube.com/BolandMedia or right here on Twitch.tv/BossRoland. I believe you can go back and watch it right now. This, Connie, you didn't miss anything. That's what I'm saying. You didn't miss anything yet. Vodka. I'm so fucking blackout, man. Oh man. Okay, so this is chapter 2. We did chapter 1 last week. I said that already. You could watch that. Yeah. Um, chapter 2 is titled. Wait, this is chapter 1. I'm holding up. Oh, man, it's going to be a long night. By the way, chapter 1 was long as fuck. Let's hope this one is shorter. I don't know. I haven't read the book since 2000 probably 2016. Probably last time I read any of the book at all. So this is new for me too, all right? I don't know what the fuck I wrote. I was 23 years old. Don't judge me. I don't normally dress like this. I got into character for tonight's reading. You're welcome. This is college Frat Ross. I owned both of these items in college and wore them in college. As I said, if you went to college with me, you saw me in this shit, you know this shit, man. And you know this, man. Kanye. Oh, I just thought you were dyslexic. My fault. J-Dog, Big Dog, what's up? True Evil, Lumpy, Nicklemore, Drac, Bunsen Ben, Dalt, PDT Program, Pup Fizz, P-Pup 6969, nice, nice. M-Kretz 15, Pup, appreciate you on the sub. Drac, appreciate you on the sub. And I think we're good. Caught up. Ice Cream Social, The Ice Cream Social. Chapter 2. Say hi to Bruce. Bruce, what's good? Bruce, what's good, Playboy? Bruce. It's been thunderstorm here for like 2 hours. The dogs are freaked out, man. This hat is so tight on my head. By the way, it's a fucking nasty, it's a sick hat, though. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We won that year, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that, but they kind of left it out of the Last Dance. But we actually won the championship that year, the whole NBA championship, man, which is crazy, right? The Hakeem Olajuwon, you ever heard of him? Bruce, do you even care? You don't want none of this shit, do we? The Ice Cream Social. Rush continued for 2 weeks after that life-changing toga party kick-started my college career. Every night, the alphas gave us another reason to rage that tested both the limits of my liver and the elasticity of my genes due to repetitive dance floor boner exposure. Hot start. Off to a hot start here, Ross. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thursday. Oh, God. Thursday through. I just like had this thought. Like, what if it's like my 4th grade English teacher tuning in tonight to check, and she's like, let's just see how Ross is doing, and this is what I'm doing. God. Thursday through, I don't feel comfortable dressed like this. Thursday through Saturday, the dorms emptied and the streets were littered with people headed to different parties. Girls were waved past the hired security at the entrance of the Alpha House, and the unfortunate guys who weren't on the rush list walked away staring at the ground. Even on the rare weeknight that a party didn't break out at the house, Atwater and his recruitment captains took the rushies to dinner with a different group of sorority girls. And we didn't go out for chicken fingers and onion rings. No, they didn't. It was always the back room at an upscale steakhouse where we could get obnoxious, or a sushi place where we could bang out sake bombs and slam Japanese beer. Cool. Everything was charged to the chapter credit card as part of the rush budget, and Atwater never even looked at the check before slapping down the plastic. Oh, what a fucking badass, dude. Holy shit. Big dick, plastic, slapping, no look, fucking passing. Can y'all hear me? We doing all right? No. Can y'all hear me? J-Dog, appreciate you. Bobby? Yeah, Warzone later. You fucking know it. Their goal was to impress us, and it worked. School never even had a chance to become a priority. How could I give a shit about my history lecture, knowing a few hours later I'd be double-fisting beers and singing Tiny Dancer at the top of my lungs with a girl under each arm? It was a non-stop boozing, laughing, flirting, and fucking with zero consequences that felt like it would never end. Then, one fateful Friday, my phone rang, and Atwater's name appeared on the screen. I pulled my iPhone from my pocket and muted SportsCenter to answer his call. This guy watches sports. SportsCenter to answer his call. Towns, put on a blazer and slacks, pick up a gallon of your favorite ice cream, and head up to the house. His tone was far more serious than usual. Ice cream? What flavor do I... Just pick a fucking flavor and be there by 6 o'clock sharp. Click. None of the alphas had ever expressed any emotion other than enthusiasm to get me sloppy drunk and laid, and I'd never heard Atwater sound even mildly irritated. I had no idea why he was acting like a dickhead. I sat in silence, considering the possibilities, until Monty walked in from class and told me he just got the exact same call from one of the recruitment captains who assisted Atwater. Rush might be over, he said, as he slid one arm into his blazer. And we might be fucked, I replied. It was already 5:45, so I grabbed my coat and we headed into the parking garage to get my truck. Did he seem pissed off to you? Monty asked. He hung up on me. Neither of us said a word the rest of the way to the grocery store. My brakes squeaked as we swerved into a parking spot and we hustled inside to grab ice cream. A few minutes later, we arrived at the frat house with time to spare. The parking lot was overflowing with SUVs and trucks. Most had Alpha stickers on the rear window along with Ducks Unlimited or Coastal Conservation Association decals. South? We parked on the street as several other rushees were getting out of their cars, and I saw dozens of other people in sports coats already standing around picnic tables set up on the front lawn. We approached the tables, and I realized that not a single active member of the fraternity was in the yard. Just rushees. Oh, that pure vodka hits good. 2 years on the wagon, and I fell off to read this fucking shit. No, I'm just kidding. That's when I looked up and saw at least 40 of the 110-man chapter packed onto the second-floor balcony, looming over us. They had beers in their hands and scowls on their faces, staring down like vultures at soon-to-be-dead prey. I set my vanilla ice cream down on a table with countless other buckets, every one of them vanilla, and walked over to Tim to see if he knew what the Alphas had planned. Tell me you know what the fuck is going on here. I have no fucking idea, he said. I was one of the first people to show, and when I tried to head upstairs, one of the seniors was like, stay in the fucking yard. I feel like a dog in a $300 blazer. I walked through the crowd, stopping and talking with guys I hadn't seen in a few days. One of the other rushies, Garrett Rogers, was in the middle of telling me how an RA walked in on him pounding a girl in her dorm's laundry room. Oh, fuck, I cracked. All right, there's one. It's really hard to read this with a straight face. Like, really, really difficult. Imagine if you remember writing it for a job. What was happening? Pounding a chick in a laundry room, yeah. When a loud whistle from the upstairs balcony interrupted him. The president of Alpha, Sean Harvey, leaned over the railing with his hair neatly combed, wearing a navy blazer and a red tie with blue pinstripes. He put his fingers to his mouth and whistled once more, louder this time. It just says stripes, not pinstripes. I had to tell y'all. Art is never finished. Fellas, pay the fuck attention, he yelled. Everyone stopped talking and stared up at him. Today is a very important day in your lives, he began. It is one that will change you forever if you accept the honor we bestow upon you. You'll notice that not all the fucking freeloaders that have been coming to our parties are here today. That's because we've spent the last few weeks evaluating all of you. And those guys aren't alpha material. You, however, are being invited to be a part of our fraternity. Congratulations to the 42 of you on receiving bids from Alpha. In a split second, all my worries turned to sheer face-melting happiness. A chorus of congratulatory applause and roaring cheers rained down on us from the balcony, along with empty beer cans, packs of cigarettes, and a couple of lawn chairs. We rotated through one another, slapping backs and shaking hands with accomplishment in our swagger and acceptance in our smiles. Nate and Tim hugged it out. Which one of those guys was the one that did cocaine? Nate? Tim? Both of them? Whatever. The ovation continued as I took a breath and let out a sigh of relief. I had been looking forward to this moment from the second I received my acceptance letter to the university. There was never any doubt I'd get in, but it was still a huge weight off my shoulders. It says back. Knowing I was no longer at GDI, I made another edit. I'm like Picasso. President Harvey told us to take the next half hour to get to know each other in a sober environment for a change, and then Atwater stepped up to the railing and congratulated us. Enjoy that fucking ice cream, and if you're here in 30 minutes, we'll assume you've accepted your bid. Congratulations on being invited into the best goddamn fraternity on this campus. Robert Earl Keen was turned up full blast. Shit, I forgot to tell you what song to play. Put on some Robert Earl Keen, I guess. I never really dug Earl Keen myself, personally, frankly. I pretended to like country music for like half a semester, and then I was like, fuck y'all, I'm playing rap at the parties. Girls dance to rap. There was already a lot of people doing that. But, man, we had too much country music. Too much country music and racism, man. Robert Earl Keen was turned up full blast inside the house as Monty walked up and hit me in the arm so hard that my hand went numb. Why is that a detail we needed to know? Fucking pussy. I knew we weren't fucked, you jackass. We sat down at the table next to Nate and I grabbed a plastic spoon to dig into a melting tub of vanilla. I looked up at the balcony where the flock of actives had been staring down at us, but they were gone. My smile widened as I imagined them inside, setting up for the party of the century to welcome us as brothers. Nate nudged me, drooling ice cream down his chin and grinning like a happy 12-year-old sitting at the cool kids table for the first time. Tonight is going to be a fucking classic. I'm getting a chubby just thinking about it. I nodded in agreement as I slurped down another spoonful, but suddenly Robert Earl Keen shut off mid-song and was replaced by harsh, screeching death metal, appropriate. Weed cough. Every once in a while, I see something in the chat out of the corner of my eye, and it makes me laugh. It's distracting. Fucking stop. But suddenly, Robert Earl Keen shut off mid-song and was replaced by harsh, screeching death metal appropriate for the intro of a roided-out antagonist in the WWE. Nice writing, Ross. The heavy bass and deep-voiced screaming destroyed every endorphin that was dancing through my brain. Trindle, one of the other rushies whose dad was also an alpha, had a look on his face that turned to the drip of paranoia running down my spine into frozen panic. I followed his eyes up to the balcony and saw a solitary man with a beard that would take me years to achieve. I'd never seen him before, and I thought I had at least seen every brother in the house. His medium-height, bulldog-like frame stood in a power position with both hands gripped tightly on the wooden on the wooden railing, grinding a toothpick between his teeth. This is good stuff. Good stuff. His face showed no emotion, like a hairy robot, and he scanned each of us with his, oh, fuck, Kanye, appreciate you. I'm shutting off the music, though. There we go. I'll add them up all after, because the counter stops. It just fucking... All right. Like a hairy robot, and he scanned each of us with his eyes like he was doing a head count. Excuse me. Who the fuck is that? I whispered to Monty. He didn't answer. The bearded man headed for the stairs while I fidgeted and looked for things to stare at beside his menacing face. He walked slowly up to us wearing a Brooks Brothers button-down that displayed a thick forest of chest hair, khaki shorts with an inseam that would make 1980s Chevy Chase proud, and beach sandals. The chorus of "Respect" from Pantera's Walk sounded through the balcony speakers, and suddenly, this is Brooks Brothers, by the way, and this is chest hair if you were wondering. And suddenly, with an authoritative leap, the bearded man mounted my table, knocking buckets of ice cream aside as he made his way to the middle. "Welcome," he bellowed. "My name is Arthur Weston, but you pieces of shit will address me as Mr. Weston, sir. I am your pledge master, and for the foreseeable future, you are fucked." His stony face, rough beard, and shaggy hair showed no signs of weakness. I glanced around the table at faces that had been decorated with total comfort and acceptance just minutes before. Now they were nothing but somber humility and dejection. Dejection? Tim had his head down. It's funny how many words I knew then that I have now smoked away. If it's not one thing, it's the fucking other. Tim had his head down, staring into a tub of Bluebell, and Trindle was visibly shaking as his wide eyes focused on Mr. Weston's hairy feet. I have very hairy feet. We were a bunch of preppy kids from privileged backgrounds, and we weren't even close to prepared for a reality check of this magnitude. All the authority figures I'd ever had, including my parents, coaches, and teachers, were much older than me. Mr. Weston was only 21, and was already more intimidating than all of them combined. "Starting now, you have 3 minutes to be in the basement, lined up in alphabetical order by last name, with your backs parallel to the wall," he said. "Have your chins in the fucking air and your eyes on the fucking ceiling." He had the stage presence of a seasoned general, but even as his tone remained calmed, I could feel danger. Like being in the eye of a great storm. I was frozen. I couldn't move. None of us could. And that made him angry. "Now, goddammit, move your worthless fucking asses!" He kicked a bucket of Ben & Jerry's into Trindle's face with the accuracy and force of a Cristiano Ronaldo strike. Trindle fell backwards off the bench and thudded into the dirt, his nose bleeding and his face covered in vanilla. "Run, you ice cream munching cum stain!" Mr. Weston picked up a second bucket and hurled it at Monty.
nailing him in the back and sending him tumbling forward. I stood up and sprinted aimlessly toward the house, clumsily running into Tim. The edible just hit. I realized I had no idea where I was going, not in the chapter in life, where I was going while Mr. Weston screamed obscenities. "Move, you fucking losers! Faster! Run!" Another bucket of ice cream sailed past my head as Mr. Weston let out a powerful, evil laugh. Liquid splattered onto my shoulder, and I looked up to see two brothers hanging out of their windows, yelling and throwing beer as we passed. "Who's smiling now, bitches?" one yelled down at us. "This is a fucking nightmare you'll never wake up from." Just like that, Rush was over. There would be no more free steak dinners, no more undeserved compliments, and no more getting kidnapped by hot girls with great tits. We were in Mr. Weston's world now, and it was about to get dark. The moment when pledgeship becomes a reality is gut-wrenching for the Rushies. The wool is pulled from their eyes, and they realize the fraternity members have been treating them like kings only to enslave them in their pledge program. It is an incredibly sobering moment, and more of a mindfuck than finding out Santa Claus isn't real. And here's the TFMs, okay, for this chapter. On the beginning of pledgeship, it's all fun and games until somebody gives you a bid. TFM. The look on the legacy's face when he realizes he's just as fucked as the rest of the pledges. TFM. The house that has that new pledge... wait. No, let me start that one over. The house has that new pledge class smell. TFM. Changing their cell phone contact names, prefixes from Rushy to pledge, and loving every minute of it. TFM. We had the pledges for under an hour before the risk management chair had to intervene. TFM. Any sentence that starts with pledge is a command. TFM. Forcing the pledges to take a moment of silence for their recently deceased dignity. TFM. Why are all these guys being so mean? Asked the confused pledge. TFM. One more chapter? Let me see how long the next chapter is first before I commit to such a fucking thing. Since I burned through that one. Pledge fire is one of my all-time favorite photos from the site. That's a pledge. He's a human fire. They made him wear a costume that makes him look like fire. He's sitting in the fireplace, you see. Look, let's see. 5 more subs and I'll read another chapter. How about that? I'm a cheap, dirty little whore. Speed Bump Pledge, another classic. All-time classic, Speed Bump Pledge. Oh, fuck. And then this says, wherever it snows, snow shovel pledge goes. Oh, that was fucking easy. Thanks, Elevated. Well, fuck it. If we're going to do another chapter, let me tweet. I'm gonna run it. Let me send this tweet. It takes... My brain is fucking fried, bro. Fuck it, we're reading chapter 3 of the Total Frat Move book because the second chapter went fast and I am horny. Look, when you've done like 70,000 marketing tweets in your career, you just at some point you just stop giving a fuck. It's just like you just either come or don't. I don't know. Me being horny has nothing to do with anything. Okay, let's see. What else going on in chat? Knox Griffin, what's good? VKR on us. Strip reading. Yeah, that might happen. Lumpy, you walked in on. There was a point where I had done. I guess I can button it back up now since I was being inappropriate for a reason. J Ted, what's up, Jack? Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna read another chapter. We're doing the. Was I not clear? We're doing the other chapter. Can I take off this fucking hat now, please? I'll put it back on when I start reading again. I have not started sports betting again yet. I'm trying to hold off as long as I can because I'm betting on stonks, on the stonk market. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Baby, right round. Damn. Du hast. Please, God, let this next chapter be hazing. What is it? Yes, dude. Oh, yeah, dude. This whole chapter's hazing. Yeah, we'll do another chapter. This is short anyway. Yeah. Yeah. This was the funnest part to read. We're doing another one. The funnest part to read was, I told you that hat was fucking tight. Left a mark on my head. The funnest part to write was the hazing stuff. Obviously. Does it go without saying? I think that's chapter 4. I could just check the book. It's 2 inches from my hand. Just don't really feel like it. All right. I did another tweet, so I'm going to give people a couple minutes to show up. In the meantime, here's some Du Hast. I'm going to go hit the bowl and mentally prepare myself for what is sure to be a PTSD-inducing chapter of Total Frat Move. Lumpy, if you throw in, if you do $1,000 in bits right now, Lumpy, I'll strip. Only if it's Lumpy, though. Anybody else puts a dime in, I don't care. It's got to be Lumpy. Dude, I clean the... Oh, name the damn bong. They said clean. I was like, I clean it every week, ass. Du hast mich. I don't know the words or what they mean. Please don't be racist. Du hast mich. Du hast mich. Bella. She's out cold. How is she totally unfazed? How is she totally unfazed?
Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turn to the city, I broke all the nuts. Got some more millies, I keep me a knot.
Yeah, this is one of the great all-time great hazing songs right here. Yo, but you know what? Truth be told, this was the hazing song for my chapter. It's what they played the first time they lined us up. So I have to play it. Yo, and then they used to play it to line us up, and my boy Jared would jump out of the line. Like, we'd all have to be dead-ass serious, and we actually had to do chins down, not up. I did the opposite in the book. Some chapters do the opposite. But my boy Jared would jump out of the line, and when the drum roll hits, he'd do the... And I would fucking crack every time. I don't know why that was, like, the funniest. We had nothing to laugh about. It was just like now. Perfect time to read some dumb shit because the world has been trashed for 3 months. We're coming out of this shit. It's time to be entertained again. 1 second.
Alright. Well, we gotta let the song finish. Yo, just so we could listen to the song, I want you to know I sacrificed any money we could have made off this YouTube video. Oh, I thought that was about to be it. It's hard to time the... I like Billy Bong Thornton, but wasn't that in Half Baked? I was trying to do a James Harden play on words for the bong, but it never happened. There's Bella. Yeah, I know him, Kretz. I know what we gotta do. I know what's happening here. Should I get the jacket out and be a pledge for this one? I fucking missed it. Son of a bitch. Sorry, I can't miss it. Oh, we're going fully authentic. Hakeem Olajuwon! We're done. There it is. Also, Pledge Ross would have never had this jacket. Never. Never, never, never. It's way too fitted. Ooh. God, let's go out and hit some fucking balls right now. Let's fucking go. Fellas. How you, baby? Alright, that's enough of that. Man, can somebody clip up so we can gif up the drum? Because I crushed the drum, dude. Boom, 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 boom. It was beautiful. Wow. Alright, chapter 3 of Total Frat Move, the 2013 New York Times bestselling novel by W.R. Bolin and the creators of TotalFratMove.com. I am the artist formerly known as W.R. Bolin, and this is Mr. Weston's world. It quickly became obvious that most of us didn't even know the basement existed, much less how to get inside. For a few seconds, our directionless pack stalled out until Rogers took the lead. One by one, we headed through a heavy wooden door into the dusty, stale dungeon. Once inside, we started yelling our last names at each other in the dark, desperately trying to get in order. Adams, Runson, fucking Trindle, Montgomery, Parcels, Rogers, Prescott, I pushed my way in between Parcels and Rogers while the name yelling continued. It sounded like there was a stampede taking place on the floor above us. Dozens of stomping feet shook the ceiling and sent a cloud of dust pouring down around us. Phil Collins in the air tonight had... I swear to God I didn't even remember this. Phil Collins in the air tonight had been turned on full blast to smother any cries for help. I stared up at the ceiling and my dad's words echoed in my head. Take the hazing like a man. Coach Doug's just pull off a comeback. I actually do care. I was texting with Dan earlier. He's my mentor. Don't tell anyone. Take the hazing like a man. I heard the basement door slam shut. Mr. Weston, sir, was among us. It actually says that. It's a joke, Mr. Weston, sir. Remember he said, you call me Mr. Weston, sir. Doug's. You don't even get the name right. Come on, Jesus. But also, yeah, focus. Fuck. This is my heart and soul, dude. Realest shit I ever wrote. Very important. Pay attention. Fucking talk about Doug's immediately afterward when I'm playing Warzone. I heard the basement door slam shut. Mr. Weston, sir, was among us. I want each of you to look at the worthless shitbags to your immediate left and right, he instructed. These are your pledge brothers. The men you will suffer with every single day for the next 12 weeks. And you will suffer. You can bet on that. I looked at Rogers, who looked back at me, and then over at Parcells, who was too afraid. Why is there a Parcels? Parcells? I don't even know. Parcells. Like Bill Parcells? Who was too afraid to break eye contact with the ceiling. Mr. Weston shouted again, eyes back on the fucking ceiling! You're in my world now, and my world has rules. Pay close attention. My mood depends entirely on whether or not you follow the fucking rules, and my mood is very, very important to you. He paced back and forth in front of us. Every time he paused, I could feel the tension in the room skyrocket. He randomly raised his voice for parts of his delivery he considered especially important. These are the rules of pledging. Attire! You will wear a collared polo shirt tucked into Wrangler bootcut jeans with boots at all times on campus. The only exceptions are Tuesdays, which are meeting days when you will wear your pledge uniform, which consists of a white button-down, crimson tie, and blue blazer with khaki pants. This is the best I could do. Like, blue blazer, sorry. Angry Scotty, please do it. He stepped past me and paused for a second to collect his thoughts. The thunderous stomping overhead continued, and dust from the ceiling sprinkled into my eyes. My palms were sweating, and I could feel my heartbeat pounding through my chest. There will be no hair products, no jewelry, no watches, no ankle socks, no sandals, no facial hair, no hats, no sunglasses, no long hair. He hesitated momentarily in front of Parcells and then yelled directly at him, no stupid fucking faces! Someone toward the beginning of our alphabetical line sneezed, and Mr. Weston sprung toward him in what seemed like a single bound, defying physics like an NFL linebacker. Shut the fuck up! His head was on a swivel and his eyes scanned back and forth, and then he calmed himself and continued. I tried to keep my breathing to a minimum out of fear that I would draw his attention. There will be no drinking, no tobacco of any kind, and no drugs. That ice cream was the last fucking treat you'll ever have. You will address every active as Mr., call him by his last name, and in every sentence with sir when you talk to them. If you see an active on campus, you will approach him with a firm handshake and address him like I'm about to address this mindless fuck right here. He stepped in front of Monty and extended one hand firmly for a shake. Sir, Alpha Pledge Arthur Weston. How are you today, Mr. Montgomery? Monty tried to shake his hand without looking at him, but missed awkwardly, and Mr. Weston slapped his hand away. Do not fucking touch me! Who the fuck do you think you are? He stood on his toes and screamed in Monty's face, I will fucking eat you alive! Uncooked! I will fucking eat you! He remained on his toes, inches from Monty's face, silent. Monty stood tight-lipped and fixed his eyes on the ceiling. Imagine, like, dudes who never had any intention of going to the military pretending they're in the military. That's what hazing is. It's really fucking fun. It's not fun. It was awful. Awfully fun. Mr. Weston looked for a reaction, any excuse to keep demeaning Monty, but he didn't get one and backed away to continue his pacing. It ended right in front of me. Who wants to try and intro me properly?
Please, God, not me. You. He poked me in the Adam's apple with his burly index finger. Address me correctly. Sir, Alpha Pledge Towns Prescott. How are you doing today, Mr. Weston, sir? Louder, you quivering taint! I could smell the whiskey on his breath. Sir, Alpha Pledge Towns Prescott. How are you today, Mr. Weston, sir? I deepened my voice to sound like a badass, but every fluid drop of my testosterone was hiding deep in the tunnels of my ass. Fuck you, that's how I'm doing. Apparently that was his way of expressing approval, because he moved on. You will change your cell phone voicemail to Alpha Pledge, your full name. Please leave a message. You're not to use bikes, buses, or any other form of transportation such as skateboards or rollerblades. If I see you on a skateboard, I will put it inside you fucking sideways, and you will never see the inside of this house again. You will walk to class. No goddamn music, no goddamn Facebook. If one of you cocksuckers writes on my wall, I will poke you in the throat with my fucking knee. Delete your account. He paused and spit a giant loogie, seemingly disgusted that his one-sided conversation with us wasn't over. You will respect all ladies, even heifers and handicaps, and you will never use the front door of the fraternity house. You use the back door, the asshole of the house, because you are shit. In my peripheral vision, I could see him looking up and down the line to catch one of us even thinking about smiling. The room was still filled with the booming, disorienting echo of the stomping on the floor above us. Does everyone understand the rules? Mr. Weston asked. Not a single one of us spoke, terrified that one of the rules we'd already forgotten was to never respond to a question. I said, does everyone understand the fucking rules? The answer is sir, yes, sir, sir, yes, sir, we rang out in unison. Louder! Sir, yes, sir. The volume of our response shook the room. Fucking pathetic, he said, but his gruff tone gave off a sense of pride. Then he swung the basement door open into the wall, deepening the already existing doorknob-sized hole, and was gone as quickly as he came. We stood in silence, staring up at the ceiling. Are we supposed to leave? I had no fucking idea. The music suddenly cut off in the middle of a drum solo, and the stomping above us ceased. I heard the last few steps of Mr. Weston's heavy feet ascending the staircase, and each one made me feel a little bit safer. When his footsteps stopped, we were alone in the silence for minutes that seemed like days. I checked down the line to my left and right, making sure I wasn't the only idiot still staring fearfully at the ceiling. Then I imagined the world outside the basement. I saw kids in their dorms studying for exams that were weeks away, my parents at home enjoying dinner by the fire, tiny Asian women in Malaysia sweatshop. So close. I saw kids in their dorms studying for exams that were weeks away. My parents at home enjoying dinner by the fire. Tiny Asian women in Malaysian sweatshops sewing shoes. So many happy, blissfully ignorant lives. Maybe they were the lucky ones for not being conned into this ridiculous world of tyranny. Suddenly the speaker system kicked back on, and Dean Martin's Ain't That a Kick in the Head was blaring through the house, accompanied by the clatter of dozens of feet running above us and down the stairs outside. The door swung back open and Atwater sprinted through with a bottle of champagne, spraying down the line as he ran past. Dozens of other actives followed, all holding champagne bottles, dousing us and jumping around like fucking maniacs. They filed into the basement until the room was filled. All right, you sons of bitches, yelled Atwater. Tonight is your fucking bid night, your final night of freedom. The actives erupted as I forced myself to continue staring at the ceiling. My mind was being fucked so hard that it actually hurt, like a brain freeze. The champagne burned my eyes as I was strapped into the emotional roller coaster. You don't have to stare at the ceiling anymore, said Atwater as he pressed a bottle of champagne to my chest. Tonight is a fucking celebration. I grabbed the bottle but held it without taking a sip, worried that I was being set up. I glanced around and saw that all my pledge brothers were being handled bottles as well. Atwater laughed at my distrust and stepped back to address the line. It is extremely important that you remember everything your pledge trainer, Mr. Weston, said here tonight. But the rest of the evening, you should have the motherfucking time of your lives. Tomorrow morning you will be nothing more than a shitty pledge scum. But tonight, you are celebrating the fact that you and your pledge brothers are pledge scum for the best fucking fraternity on this campus. The active shuffled around congratulating us, shaking our hands and delivering quips to commemorate our accomplishment. Some were friendlier than others. Congratulations, man. Tonight's gonna be insane. Good job, bro. Let's get fucking sloppy. Enjoy tonight, you fucking pledge turd. Tomorrow the shit begins. Monty shrugged his shoulders in an act of mental capitulation. I don't even know what that word fucking means. Trindle upended his body to drown his anxiety. Then Atwater spoke up again. Let's head upstairs and get this shit started. The girls will be here soon. And then there's a little thingy. If he is any good at his job, your pledge trainer will haunt you from the moment he introduces himself until the day you die. He is the man in charge of every hazing session you go through. He orchestrates the entirety of your education about the fraternity and bonds your pledge class by breaking you down and then building you back up together as one. But even after initiation, he never really becomes just another one of the guys. He's always your pledge trainer. Here are some TFMs on pledge trainers. Pledgeship was 4 years ago, but I still hold my breath and look around for my pledge trainer whenever I hear the intro to Walk by Pantera, TFM. Unanimous vote for the Marine as pledge trainer, TFM. Congratulations, we just elected the white Ray Lewis as pledge trainer, TFM. Even the active chapter is starting to buy into the pledge trainer's mindfuck, TFM. Pledge trainer gave the pledges the hazing hotline number. Little do they know it's our drunkest active cell phone number. Welcome to hell, boys. TFM. That's good. Mid-chapter meeting haze off to decide on the next pledge trainer. TFM. And then there's some photos. Parked a pledge's car for him. TFM. It's not very nice. Doesn't seem productive or like there's a lesson behind it. Frankly, just more mean than anything. The caption on this one just says, "Do it, pledge, do it now, TFM." And it's what appears to be actually a small boy, a child, pissing in a Lowe's Home Depot toilet. Yeah, Kanye. Well, hopefully Deep Voice Girl will be back next week. But that was chapter 3 of Total Frat Move. Again, I don't have a copy of the book. I just have an advanced copy. So this is what we're working with. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been phenomenal. What a blast. If you don't know, I do some podcasting now and have my own company called Bolin Media. You can find links to my personal show, the Ross Bolin Podcast, as well as our television and film podcast titled Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, formerly the #1 Game of Thrones podcast in the realm, right there below. If you haven't, subscribe right here on twitch.tv/BossRollin to support the stream. We'll be back next Sunday to read chapter 4, and if it's short, possibly 5 as well. Since tonight's chapters were shorter, we did 2. That was fun stuff. Fun. What else? If you want to go above and beyond supporting RBP and the Ross Bolin Podcast, patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast. New episodes every Friday, ad-free. Otherwise, RBP comes out every Monday and Wednesday for the general population. Those of you who listen at all in any method, form, or fashion, I appreciate you. Y'all are welcome for the extra chapter. Thank you for coming through and doing this. It's seriously a ton of fun. I really haven't read it in years and years, so it's really funny to me to read it. And enough time has passed now to where I can like actually enjoy it and laugh at it and look back at it with like some pride and rather than just disgust. Because there was a point where I was like, Jesus God, what have I put into the world? But I think we actually ended up accidentally killing Greek life, or at least partially killing it in the process, which weirdly panned out. Yeah, Lumpy, I'm going to play some Warzone. Give me a minute, though. What else? RBP 299 coming tomorrow. One more episode before episode 300 of the Ross Bolin Podcast. We're going to do something special. I don't know what it is yet. But, yeah, come back next Sunday. We'll read chapter 4 at least of the TFM book right here on twitch.tv/BossRollin. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month. I put the link up there. The Nightbot did it. Subscribe, follow, donate, subscribe, follow more, donate more, subscribe again, rate, review, then subscribe again. Tell everybody you know that we're doing this every Sunday. Tell everybody you know about the Ross Bolin Podcast, about Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, about Bolin Media. Follow me everywhere on social media at WR Bolin, right there, at WR Bolin. I'm going to end the stream. I'll be back in like 15 minutes to play some Warzone. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some good Warzone players in the RBP gang. That's what we call our listenership. Some of them are going to be on here playing with me. So come back. I'm going to put on normal clothes, too. I kind of want to kill myself wearing this, frankly. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Bella really enjoyed it. She was fucking so entertained that she fucking fell asleep. So huge shouts to Bella. Huge shouts to everybody who tuned in. Appreciate all y'all. Lumpy, thanks for logging on. Yeah, that's it. Next Sunday, same time, chapter 4 Peace be with you, and also with you.